Theory topic 2, writing high and low notes. Okay, so remember we're talking here about pitch. High notes are always at the top of the stave. You know that the stave is a set of 5 lines from topic 1. And high notes are always written at the top. Think of the stave as a musical ladder. So we have high notes up high on the ladder and low notes low down on the ladder. Okay? And then obviously middle notes there. Now what's important on this topic is where on earth do you put the stems? Because we talked about note heads last time and how they were oval shaped. But now you need to think about adding stems. And it's really important you put the stem in the right place. Okay? So, if the stems, the idea with stems is keeping all of these stems neatly as close to the stave, as close to those 5 lines as possible. So for example, if we look up here, you'll see that all those stems are coming down. They're all moving downwards. So it means that they are sitting on the stave. If we'd gone up, you'd end up with lots of sticks, and that would mean the stave would take up a lot more room. So we want the stems to come down for the high notes and the stems to go up for the low notes. But there's an even more important rule, and that is what side the stems are on. So the low stems, the stems for the high notes need to go down on the left. Down on the left, and if they're coming up, they go up on the right. So down on the left, up on the right. So we do not want to see, for example, I'll do a little note head here. Okay, remember that note head, you should be able to tell me now, is that note head on the line or is it in the space? I hope you've got the right answer. Is it on the line or in the space? It is on the line. Well done. Now my note head for this, because it's low, is going to go up on the right. Okay? A little bit thick actually there. If you do something like, I'm doing the same note, if you do something like this, not good. Doesn't look like a musical note anymore. Okay, it looks like an upside down lollipop or something, or maybe a golf club. Okay, you need to make sure you go up, so that's wrong. That one is right. Okay, how do you know if it's a high note or a low note? Very good question. This middle line here is the telltale line. Any note that sits on that middle line, okay, so third up from the bottom, third down from the top, you can actually choose whether your stem goes down on the left, or up on the right. That is your choice. And that might depend on what note has come before it, what note is going after, and what looks neat to you. But the top ones must come down on the left, and the low ones must go up on the right. So anything that's below the middle line, they go up. Anything that's above the middle line, they come down. So let's have a look at the questions you've got to do for topic 2. Add a stem to each note head. Place each one carefully and keep the length of the stems the same as the examples above. Okay, so yes, you notice that they are probably about 3 spaces long, roughly. Okay, remember that the aim of these is to keep the stems within the stave where possible. So here's the first one, coming down on the left. Is this note a high note? Is it above that middle line? This is the middle line we've got to look at. Or is it below it? It looks like it's above, so I'm going to come down on the left. Now that looks a little bit short, so I'm going to make it a tiny bit longer, probably to about there. That looks like quite a good length. You can go on and do the rest. Add a stem to each note head here. All these 3 here certainly are below the middle line, so my stems now need to come up. So I'm going to go up on the left. In fact, I find it easier to draw down, so I'm going to try and find a point that's, there we go, and come down like that. Now that's looking a little bit short to me, so I'm going to take it a little bit higher to there. Okay, and you can do the rest. Then it says, write 5 high notes and 5 low notes using note heads and stems. So you now have to do the note heads and the stems, and you've got to do high first. So remember, we think of the stave as a musical ladder. High notes are up high on the ladder, and the low notes are at the bottom of the ladder. And we've got to do 5 of each. So you can choose where you put them. Maybe I might do my first one in the top space. So I've got my note head and my stem coming down on the left. Okay, so you need to do 5 high ones, and then I might do, I'm going to leave you to do those, and I might do my low one, let's put it on the second line, and I'm going to go up on the right here. As I said just now, I'm not very good at drawing up, so it's a little bit wiggly, so you might want to do what I did with that earlier one, which is find a point, get a ruler, find a point a little bit higher and take it downwards rather than going up. And number 4, add a stem to each note head. So here the note heads have been given to you, and you may remember me saying in topic 1's video that note heads can be coloured or they can be empty. So we've got some of each here. Okay, so the empty one here needs to come down because it's a high note. This one is down the bottom, pretty low, so it's going to go up on the right. So we don't want to see any lollipops. We don't want to see any of these. That is bad. That looks a little bit like a lollipop or a tree. And we don't want to see any things on the wrong side. Always down on the left, up on the right. This one actually is in the middle line, isn't it? So this, you've got the choice. So you could go down on the left, or you could go up on the right. I hope this makes writing high and low notes a little bit clearer for you.